Welcome to the Roofing Business Growth Circle with Jacques Skuteeki, the go-to 15-minute power session for roofers who want more profit, better projects, and marketing that actually works. In each episode, you'll hear fast, practical ideas from real roofers and suppliers that can plug straight into your business and grow your bottom line. Now, get ready to level up your roofing business with your host, Jacques Skuteeki.
Welcome to the Roofing Business Growth Circle, the insider advantage for roofers who want to get found, get calls, and get clients. If you're a roofer who wants to run a smarter, more profitable business without hype or fluff, you're at the right place. So let's get started. Today, my guest speaker is Eric Lofholm. Eric is a master sales trainer who has taught his proven sales systems to thousands of professionals around the world. He is the president and CEO of a company called Eric Lofholm International, an organization he founded to professionally train people on the art of and the science of selling. Eric began his career as a sales failure. At his first sales job, he was put on a quota probation after only working with them for 2 months. And that being said, it was 2 months in a row. And that being said, at that point, Eric needed a sales mentor. And after being professionally trained, he achieved his quotas and eventually became the top producer of his company. Eric went on to become the top producer at 2 more companies. Prior to starting his company called Eric Lofholm International. Eric lives in Rocklin, California with his wife and children. Eric, welcome.
I'm excited to be here and share some powerful ideas with all of your listeners.
Well, thank you. Did I miss something in my introduction to you?
I think you covered it great.
Okay. Was there a turning point where you said you may have said something like, okay, this is not working, I need coaching. And then when you got the coaching, you got the results in selling. But was there a turning point where say, wait a minute, what I have right now, more people need to have this? So what was that turning point when you decided, I want to do this to empower others?
Yeah, I think of myself as a teacher. I love teaching. And once I was trained by my mentor, I started teaching people how to sell, but not as a career, just my coworkers or people that I knew in sales, just to help them. And I then ended up, prior to starting my own company, I had a 3-year run with Tony Robbins, and I worked for Tony as a trainer. And then you get around a guy like that and you really get confident. And so when I was 28 years old, I started my current training company. I'm in my 28th year. Helping people increase their sales results.
Cool. So the audience that we have are roofers and home repair services. And I'm wondering, what is your opinion on the industry challenges right now in 2026?
Yeah, I think improving the quality of your presentation, for all of you listening, you go into the home, you meet with the homeowners, you're delivering, I call it a repetitive presentation, similar presentation each time. And in a lot of cases, people have not really worked at it. And so there's likely some room to improve your presentation. And once you improve it, you have that improvement forever. And then secondly is ways to get more leads. How do we get more leads, better quality leads? And so those are 2 of the things that I think are valuable.
And obviously, what are the ways then to get more leads, in your opinion? Quick ways or easy ways for professional roofers that really understand what they're doing? They understand the value added they bring to a homeowner. So what are the different types of leads that they can look at that they may not be exploring right now other than buying ads?
Yeah, one of my favorite strategies is to think about it like this. So not only is the roofer looking for leads, but other people that are selling to homeowners, they're looking for leads too. So a real estate agent is looking for leads. Somebody who does pool work, somebody who does heating and air work. And so there's ways to go to these people and say, look, you're looking for the same customer I am. So when I'm in meeting with the homeowner, if I recognize they have a need for what you're doing, I'll refer to you, but it's an upfront agreement. In exchange, you would refer me, and I call that a reciprocal referral relationship. And so I would set up several of these. And so you can have these different professionals that are interacting with the same customer that you want to interact with and have them referring you. And so you have these additional leads coming in on referrals is one practical thing that I would do.
How do they find them?
You know, I'll be listening now. You probably already have them, right? They're in your Rolodex. They're the real estate agent that helped you with your home. They're the people that maybe you're doing business with, or you know them from networking. And what you would do is you just ask yourself the question, who is selling to homeowners that doesn't do what I do? And make a list of those people. And then you'd want to reach out to them and connect with them with a coffee meeting or a Zoom meeting or a phone call and explain that you're looking to grow your business. And one of the ways you want to do it is with referral relationships, and remind them that they're after the same customer you are, and see if they'd be interested in this type of collaborative relationship. And honestly, some of them may have no interest, but the ones that do, these could be multi-year long referral relationships that could bring you deal after deal after deal.
That's, and I guess networking is the key too, right? So that's a great solution on how to find referral partners. And they may already be clients of yours, they may be friends of yours, but they could also be met at different events, you know, whether it's a yearly event or a monthly event. If you're part of a Toastmaster or a Chamber of Commerce or some type of roofing association, they're out there. And there are a lot of people out there that really want that. They really want to be referred, and they love referring.
That's right. And it's a win for them too, because the realtor's looking for leads and you're looking for leads, and the heating and air conditioning guy is looking for leads and you're looking for leads. And so it fits like a glove. There's a value add there. And my encouragement is to create an upfront agreement where you say to them, in some of these cases, it would be exclusive. You'll be my heating and air guy in exchange for, I'm going to be your roofing guy, if you will, right? And so sometimes we don't have it exclusive, where we'd have more than one, but oftentimes we'd have one. You create an upfront agreement, and then once they agree, that doesn't mean you're going to start getting leads. We've got to nurture it. So you got to check in with them, say happy birthday to them, comment on their social media, maybe have a check-in call once a month or meet for coffee once a quarter, and you build the relationship.
Very, very powerful. That's good insight. So that's one of the solutions. The other one you mentioned is about presentation and sales skills. So how does that work?
Well, it's interesting because there may be many roofers out there that they don't view themselves as a salesperson. They may have resistance to sales. And so if you realize, okay, I'm delivering these presentations, I want to deliver a high quality presentation, there is value in learning sales skills, which I'm an advocate for that because that's what I teach. And what you would do is you would record your presentation. And there's a number of ways to do it. If you're in the home, you could say to the homeowners that you're selling to, would it be okay if I recorded my presentation? It's just for me, for my own benefit. And they go, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. I'll probably agree to that. If they don't agree, then don't do it. But if they agree, then you just hit the record like on your phone. And there's a variety of ways to turn your sales presentation recording into a transcript. And AI loves data like transcripts. So you can upload the transcript into the AI and say, analyze my presentation, rate it 1 to 10. Where is it strong? Where does it need improvement? What suggestions do you have? And you can have the AI helping you like a professional sales coach, like what it is that I do. And most people are not going to do this, but it doesn't cost anything, and it's an easy lift, and it will help you. And if you can really get the value of, if I work on my presentation, every presentation that I deliver for the rest of my life, I'm going to have the benefit of the work that I do.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And maybe they're going to get in business and want to start opening a sales and training company like you, right?
Well, here's an interesting thing. Some people that become great at what they do, they end up teaching others for a fee. So it's not out of the question for somebody to get really great at all these best practices. And then maybe in the future, they go into consulting.
And I guess the third thing is getting a lot more exposure if they can as a business owner in their community.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that we can put ourselves out there to be visible. And one of those ways is social media. Another way is like what you and I are doing right now to be a podcast guest and you're creating content. And so imagine if you were on a podcast and you got the recording and then you emailed it out to your database and let them know I was recently on this podcast. It positions you as a thought leader, an industry expert. So that's an idea that you can do. And another one I think is a simple one is after you complete working on somebody's roof, if you take a photo in front of the home with the homeowner and then you post that photo on social media and you tag them and another happy customer, and it shows people on social media you operating in your excellence. You just completed a job as an example. So those are some just simple practical things that you can do.
Yeah, so the solution that we discussed is pretty much how to implement it. I guess we covered those two things. And that being said, what about future trends? What if they don't do anything? What's going to happen in 3 or 5 years?
Well, I think that, and we don't know, the future of AI, but I think a lot of people will be using AI like they're using Google. And so if you choose to create content and you put yourself out there and position yourself as an expert, there's a real likelihood that you're going to show up on AI as people are doing searches looking for roofing help. And the other thing I think that's interesting is that when you work on these skills, you have the benefit of them for the rest of your life. If you do a video, you have the benefit of that video for the rest of your life. And so,
Evergreen.
I love doing things that create leverage, right? So I teach people, for example, how to write books. And you might think, I do roofs, why would I write a book? Well, that's actually the reason you might want to do it, because you differentiate yourself from everyone else. I have a guy who sells cars and he's just about done with his book. I'm helping him do that. And why is he doing it? Because nobody in the car industry does that. So he'll stand out. Me as a trainer, pretty much every trainer's got a book. So my book doesn't help me stand out, but a book is an example of something that you created, you have it for the rest of your life. So I'm a big advocate for working on these business systems so you can have these systems in place and benefit years into the future.
And also, book gives you, notoriety, gives you credibility,
Yeah.
and it opens a lot of doors. I mean, people may not read your book, they're not going to buy it. And even if you give an ebook by email, most people are going to open it, they're going to look at it for 15 seconds, and they're going to move on with their life. But when you have content like that, it does stay in their mind. Oh yeah, he got an ebook. Oh yeah, he's got this, he's got that, and that is very, very powerful. Um, the other thing I was thinking of this, from this conversation is coming back to the sales pitch. I have roofers that are very, very happy with just doing ad campaigns, and I have other roofers that don't want ad campaigns. They're all about networking. They go in their Batmobile and they go on these construction sites to make connections, right? And then they meet different businesses there, and then they're pure networkers, or that's all they do. But I've also noticed that a lot of roofers, they just pray to have people click the button on their website to get a bid, right? And what I'm also noticing is that most roofers are happy if out of 100 bids, they get 10, 20 sales. And what I'm noticing is some people are happy to convert 10, some people are happy to convert 18. But I have a dude in Los Angeles that converts 38%. 38%. That's 2 times more than most of the roofers that say, oh, I'm happy to convert, 15%. And what does he do? Well, he's got his own personality and how he follows up. And I always say, if you don't follow up, leads fall through the cracks. So you need a system, you need a CRM, you need automation, right? But again, with those bids, there's two things you can do. You become the best salesperson, but you can also use those bids, the 80% of the people that don't buy, you can do a retargeting campaign with them. You can start educating them, engaging them with what's happening in the world of roofing, what type of TLC a roof needs every 3 years or every 7 years, why some roofs last 15 years and other 25 years. And you can engage people with very, very short content. It doesn't have to be long stories. And when you engage, then you become top of mind, right? So the 80% of people that didn't buy from you, it don't matter. But if you engage with them and they're not satisfied of the roofer they got, when the neighbor asks them, like, do you like your roofing company that did the job for you? And the guy says, not really, but you know what? I get these emails from this company, and I mean, they're really cool. They give me a lot of information. Why don't you connect with them? So that's that's what I call a retargeting campaign. And it's very powerful and very inexpensive, very inexpensive. And that's a tool that a lot of roofers, they don't know that they don't know, or they don't believe it's going to work. And it's extremely cost efficient. So that being said, what offer do you have to our roofers?
Well, for all of you listening, if you are resonating with my message, if you do see value in improving your sales and your business skills, I'd like to invite you to join my sales community. I have people from all over the world. It's a virtual community, and there's no cost. And we'll invite you to various trainings, and you can become a part of the network. And so there'll be a link that'll be provided for you to join the community. And then with that, it's not on the initial offer when you join the community, but I'd love to offer, just for all of you that are listening, if you would like a session with me, a half an hour Zoom session or a phone call, and we can talk about ways to improve the quality of your presentation. We can talk about social media. If it intrigued you to write a book, I've helped a lot of people write a book, and I'd be happy to gift you a half an hour of time. And so what that would look like is you'd click on the link, you'd join the community, and then you're going to get an email welcoming you. Reply to that email and say, I was on the Roofing Business Growth Circle, and I
Podcast.
from the podcast, and then I'd like to request my session, and I'll waive the fee on that session with you, and I'll help you. And there's a lot that we can do in a 30-minute session to work on your skills. I'd love to have that one-on-one time and support any of you that would like that.
Eric, thank you so much. That's very generous, by the way.
Thanks.
So thanks again, Eric, for taking part of this short podcast. And listeners, before you go, if you're a roofing contractor or roofing business owner and today's episode hit close to home, make sure you're subscribed to the Roofing Business Growth Circle podcast, or check out our YouTube channel. We're all over the place on Apple, on Audible, Spotify. We're all over the place. And each week, we share practical strategies to help you grow profits, build better systems, and run a roofing business that doesn't depend on you every single day. Thank you again for tuning in, and have a great day.
If you're serious about winning, don't stop here. Visit roofingbusinessgrowthcircle.com and unlock our resource vault featuring valuable free tools, guides, and resources from our guest speakers. Listen to more episodes of the podcast and book a Beat Your Competition strategy call with Jacques. Until next time, keep raising the bar in your roofing business.